Hello everyone, my name is Mubashir Sultan. In this video, I'll be showing you some data visualization of top companies in the United States, which are Apple, Alphabet, Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft, Netflix, and Walmart. So the visualization I'll be showing you are the financial numbers, uh, which could help the internal stakeholders and the external stakeholders, such as current shareholders or even potential buyers that are willing to or wanting to invest in one of those companies. So these numbers could help them decide if they want to invest in those companies or not. And before I begin, I want to say the numbers in the data were directly pulled out from companies 10K. So my first visualization is market capital. For those who don't know what market capital is, it's basically total market value of a company's outstanding shares. If you look at this visualization as of March 27, 2018, Apple is leading with $859.4 billion, followed by Amazon, Alphabet, Facebook, Microsoft, Walmart with $255.6 billion, and finally with Netflix $131.9 billion. However, if you add up all these companies' market capital, these companies have the most valuable stock in the US market with a collective of $3.83 trillion in market capitalization. What this visualization shows is the total revenue made by these companies in 2016. So if you sum up the revenues made by each of these companies, it sums up to approximately $1 trillion, with Walmart generating almost 46% of that, and Netflix contributing less than 1% in the revenue. So, like I said, Walmart is leading with $478.6 billion in revenue, then followed by Apple generating less than $250 billion, and then Amazon, Alphabet, Microsoft, Facebook, and Netflix. If you look at the graph on the top left, it shows the Apple earnings from the year of 2013 to 2017. As you can see, the earnings were highest in the year of 2015 with approximately $53 billion, and it took a dip in 2016 and has gradually increased in 2017, rounding up to approximately $48 billion in terms of earnings. If you look at the graph on the right and the bottom graph, these two graphs complement each other. It shows how iPhone is really important for Apple in terms of generating revenue. It's pretty much 50%. It contributes 50% of its revenue for Apple. With the approximate of $141 billion. So here are the graphs for Alphabet. The top graph is the earnings from the year of 2013 to 2017. They had the highest earnings in 2016, around $19 billion, and they took a dip in 2017, rounding up to $12.6 billion in terms of earnings. And the bottom two graphs again shows how these two graphs complement each other. It basically shows that advertising has been contributed 86% of its revenue, of its total Alphabet revenue, rounding up to $95 billion. Now let's take a look at Amazon. As you can see, it only shows earnings from the year of 2013 to 2016. That's because Amazon have not released their annual statements for the year of 2017 yet. Anyways, if you look at their earnings, they actually had a net loss of $241 million in 2014. and they had a net gain in 2015 around $596 million, going up to $2.3 billion in 2016. And if you look at their bottom two graphs, it shows retail products contributing the most to Amazon's total revenue with 67%, and retail products have contributed $91.4 billion to Amazon. So here's the graphs for Facebook. Since Facebook went IPO, all it knew was to make profit. I mean, if you look at the graph for earnings, in 2017 they made up to $15.9 billion, and if you look at the revenues generated, basically almost all of the revenues generated through advertising, with contributing 98% of its revenue, rounding up to almost $40 billion in 2017. So here's everyone's favorite when it comes to killing time, Netflix. If you look at their earnings in 2017, they made around $559 million for 2017. And if you look at their bottom two graphs, it shows domestic streaming and international streaming both are equally important. Domestic DVD, not so much. That's dying down, and basically domestic streaming have contributed around more than 50% to its revenue, around $6.15 billion, and international streaming contributing 43% to the total revenue of Netflix. So here are the earnings for Walmart from 2012 to 2017. As you can see, it's pretty much consistent, except it kind of made a loss. I mean, it didn't make as much as it did in make as much in 2017 as it did in 2015, rounding up to $14 billion in terms of earnings. And if you look at their revenue, Walmart US, the domestic market, is really the most important market for Walmart when it comes to generating revenue, contributing more than 60% of its revenue. And basically, in 2017, they contributed around $300 billion in revenue, and Walmart International is around $120 billion, and Sam's Club's even less than that. So here's my final slide for Microsoft for their earnings from 2014 to 2017. If you look at their earnings, they made around $22 billion in 2014 and took a dip in 2015 around $12 billion, and there's a gradual increase in 2016 to 2017, making up to $21 billion in 2017. And if you look at their revenue, actually corporate and others, they're making a loss. So they made a loss in 2017, and personal computing products are contributing the most in terms of revenue with $38 billion. Well, all three products are pretty much contributing almost equally in terms of revenue. So all three products are really important for Microsoft when it comes to generating revenue.